Ladies and gentlemen, is your financial GPS on course for financial disaster? The right planning avoids that. Sadly, most people have no clue if or when they'll be able to retire. It's time for Robert Goldsmith, a 30-year professional with the knowledge and experience to eliminate risk and maximize the efficiency of your hard-earned money, including a possible tax-free retirement, because all plans are not created equal.
With your advisor. My name is Robert Goldsmith. I am a 37-year financial professional, so my job is here to assist you with anything that you have financially. Now, we're in 2019, and welcome, Happy New Year. And I know that 2019 is typically the start of something fresh, but it's also the start of your financial tax season. And see, what most people are not aware of is they just kind of go on with their daily business each and every day. And then because they're doing that, they're not making the proper adjustments that they think they should be. And I want to share with you something that's really important, because most people just don't seem to get it. And that is that when you go through your day activities, a lot of things that you do have certain tax advantages that may be beneficial to you coming tax season. So a lot of the things that you should be doing during the year can affect what happens when you finally file that return. So when we talk about a financial education, most people are not aware of what the components are that go into your financial plan. So I wanted to start with that this year and tell you a little bit about what we've got planned for you. So we plan on each and every week to provide you access to information that can assist you in everything you do financially. Because I'm going to ask you this question. Would it be okay if you had more money in your paycheck? Like, for example, has anybody ever contacted you from your bank and said, I'm sorry, guys, your bank account just isn't big enough to hold enough money. So, you just have to stop putting money into it. That's probably never happened. And conversely, I'm also going to guess that never has one of you ever heard from the IRS that said something like this. Hi, I'm from the IRS. I'm here to help you. Probably haven't seen that happen either. So what I'd like to do is share with you some insights and some of the things that are changing, because you all know that in 2017, or the end of 2017, there was a tax law change that many people may have assumed that it existed and may have said that, oh, this might be something about, say, for the wealthy, for the corporations. But this tax law change affects almost each and every one of you. And especially if you're in the middle income bracket, these are really going to be beneficial for you. So I want to share with you some of the things that you may not be aware of, and what's happening when you file your return this coming year. So I want to share those things with you so you get a better perspective. And then at the end of this broadcast, I'm going to give you an opportunity to get a copy of our new book. And let me show you what the book looks like so you get a better perspective. But this particular book is going to give you access to information on what's happening with the tax laws so that you can see it. I know you're probably not seeing this on some areas of Facebook Live. If you're on my direct page, you're definitely seeing it if you're on the Financial 411 page. So if you're on my page right now, and you want to be able to make sure that you get the full view of what's happening within our programs, I encourage you to go out to Financial 411 and like our page. Again, that's Financial 411 on Facebook. Go out there, like our page, so that every time we do these broadcasts, this informational financial structure for you guys, you'll get an opportunity to be able to hear firsthand what's going on, tune into these, and they'll be left on our website so you can look at the archives and try to gather some information. So again, go out to Financial 411, make sure that you like our page, okay? So I want you to make sure that you do that. So let me go back and put this up at full screen so you can see me clearly, and we'll make sure that we're on the same page. But we have available for you this. So again, if you're on my page, you probably didn't see this. This is a booklet. It's available for free. It's some of the things that you'll need to know that are relevant to your taxes. So I want to encourage you to make sure you get a copy of our 2018 Social Security, and it says retirement. Look, folks, this has everything to do with you. And interestingly enough, the way that you set yourself up today is the way your taxes will be affected when you retire. You know, I've been working with a lot of couples lately who weren't aware of some of the tax law changes and weren't aware of the best way to receive their income. When they receive their income properly, they end up with an almost zero, that's a zero, big zero, taxable liability. Imagine being able to collect your Social Security. Imagine being able to take money out of your 401k that you deposited with no taxation on it, that you earned interest with no taxation on it, and then when you take it out, still have no taxes on it. You know, there is a way to beat the system, but you have to learn how to do that properly. So I want to encourage you to understand, go out to Financial 411, like our page, get the information you need to assist you with your financial plan. So I want you to make sure that you're aware of that as well, okay? So that being said, let me talk about some of the changes that you may not be aware of. But starting this year, when you file your return, there's a $12,000 exemption, okay? There's a $12,000 exemption for each person. So now, in this book, you can get this information, and it talks about some of the exemptions. What does that mean? That means that if you're single, okay, you don't pay tax on the first $12,000 of earnings. Let me say that again. The first $12,000 of earnings, that can save you some taxes. So you'll have a tax credit if you didn't earn that much. And if you're married, you can get a $24,000. And oh, by the way, in 2019, that goes up a couple $100 a person. So it'll be $24,400, somewhere like that you'll be able to have a deduction before any of the monies that you earn start to become taxable. So understand, you get an opportunity to receive income without having to pay taxes on that. So that's an important part of the process. You need to learn some of those components. So I want to share those with you. I go out and I print stuff up for my notes here so that I can share some information with you. And if you'd like to get any copies of my notes, all you got to do is email me at financial411@att.net or go on to our Facebook page, like it, and I'll tell you what, you go like it and I'll send this to you. So you don't have to worry about the standard deductions, okay? But those are important. So imagine this. Married, filing jointly, $24,000 deduction from your 2018 income. So if you earned a combined $50,000, about $26,000 of that is taxable. But before they even start taking taxes on that, there'll be deductions that you might be able to take. So let's assume, for example, you're self-employed. You might be able to see some deductions from that can reduce your income even further. So look, I'm not a CPA. I'm not an accountant. I have helped people with their financial planning for over 37 years. So I want you to go out, make sure that you speak to your accountant, start learning some of these little tricks of the trade, if you will, that you can use to help, grow your money properly and, more importantly, save your money properly and then take your money back properly. So that's number one. So I want to share some of that information with you. I do want you to go out there and get that book. Number two is, if you have a child, you used to get a $1,000 credit when you filed your 2017 return. Now you can find out that it's a $2,000 credit. Now, all of this information, by the way, is available to you at irs.gov. That's irs.gov. So you can go out to irs.gov and start learning some of the information about your taxable situation. Again, as I explained to so many people, a lot of people go on their daily activities but not paying attention to some of the things that they did or could have done that could have saved them substantially on their taxes. So I want to encourage you to not be one of those, to learn how to go out and start saving money on your taxes. So that's available to you as well. Okay, savings on retirement plans. Is an IRA or 401k a good thing or a bad thing? And if you read this booklet, some people are going to say, oh, it's the best thing since sliced bread. And if you start paying your taxes in retirement, you might think, I should have done it a little differently. So here's what I'm going to tell you. IRAs and 401ks both have good and bad components, and you need to understand what they are. I'll bet if I gave you a test right now, most of you would probably flunk the test, not understanding what the rules are regarding your own money. Now, here's a question I have for you. How many of you would get on an airplane if you didn't know where it was going? Just a quick question. How many of you would get on an airplane if you did not know where it was going? And the answer is very few of you, because you don't want to go maybe to some places where it could be very dangerous. You don't even know if it has enough fuel to get there. Imagine if you had an airplane and you had this scheduled vacation and it only gave you half the amount of fuel that you needed to get to your destination. So either you're going to land someplace short of that destination or you're going to land maybe by crash and burn. And you see, the problem with our society today is a lot of people end up in the crash and burn because they only set up enough fuel to get halfway to their destination. They didn't save properly, or they didn't save at all. Just think about it from that perspective. People didn't save at all. You see, because a lot of people are under the misconception that the government is going to take care of them. Medicare, welfare, Social Security. Which one of those do you actually want to rely on? The answer is none of the above. You don't want to rely on any of those, do you? So I want to encourage you to certainly go out to Financial 411, subscribe to our website, and then gather the information and start learning. And oh, by the way, if you'd like to consult with me, here's what it costs you. I know you're probably thinking, oh, it must be expensive. I've done this 37 years. And I'm the author of books like, this one here, You're Earning What You Deserve, which is one of the books, actually was a 2015 finalist in the USA Book News Books of the Year. So this was the business book of the year. It was a finalist. Then this book, which we co-authored with Mark Victor Hansen, is called Boom. It was a bestseller and it hit the top 10 list of Amazon on a number of occasions. Co-authored with the iconic Mark Victor Hansen, has some insight and information to you. And the newest book, which we co-authored with my wife Deanna, this book we are featured in as well. It's a book on empowering women to understand their financial situation. And so we've got a chapter in this book as well. This actually went international bestseller rather quickly. So I want to encourage you, if you'd like information on these, go out to our website at Financial 411, subscribe to our email newsletter, and remember, we don't bombard you with information. You might get a notice that we're having a webcast once a week. You might get a newsletter once a month. You might even have information that you need assistance with, and you can give us a call, and there's no charge for the information. You don't find that with accountants. You don't find that with attorneys. You don't find that with people with that kind of experience that are willing to help you accomplish some of these goals. So I want to encourage you to go out and get that information. Go out to our webpage. We'll be offering a lot of these webcasts and podcasts for you to assist you to help you get your financial life in order. So let's talk about some of the other things. Again, I talked about child care credit. What is a child care credit? That means that you get a deduction for every child you have. So historically, it's always good to have kids in December, because if you have a child in December, well, for them, it sucks at Christmas time because you only get one gift. You always know that, right? Because I happen to be one of those. But for most parents, you get the deduction for the full year, even though in theory you only had them for a month of the year. So a lot of times, planning the baby could be an interesting thing. I'm not telling you to do that. I'm just saying, okay, it's one thing. So the child care credit goes from $1,000 to $2,000. That's a big deal. And it's a difference between a credit and a deduction. Do you know what the difference is between a credit and a deduction? Well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to answer the question, but I'm going to encourage you to email me or go out to Financial 411 or put it on our Facebook page. Find out what's the difference between a tax credit versus a tax deduction. Those are important to understand. Is your IRA, again, a good thing or a bad thing? And what are the pros and cons? Do you understand some of those? So I want to encourage you to answer some of these questions. So here's what I'm going to do for you all next week. Next week, I'm actually going to be providing you with an exam, and we're going to go through them, and we're going to see if you can pass that test. How's that? So plan on that next week, 11 a.m. Central. That'll be 9 a.m. Pacific and noon Eastern. So we're going to have that available for everybody to start subscribing to that. So I want you to know that. Now, Social Security, that's changed too. So in our new book that you can get for free are the Social Security fact sheet. Now, my wife Deanna happens to be a National Social Security Advisor. That's a certified National Social Security Advisor. And I want to tell you, there's only a handful of them in the country that have actually passed that exam. So the fact sheet on what's happening with your Social Security, pretty important. You ought to know how that works. So I want you to go out and make sure that you get that information as well. So that's out there. What is the cost of living update? How does that work in there? Do you know what the penalty is? What's the penalty if you started taking Social Security early? Like, let's assume you're 62, 63, 64. You're available for, you're eligible for Social Security. But did you start taking it? And B, Are you still working? Because based on the amount of money you earn, there can be a deduction in your benefit. So if you're starting to take it early, or you're thinking about taking it early and you're still working, you may find a substantial deduction and that money may be taxable. It may not be beneficial to take it at all. And there are some benefits to delaying, like extra income. But you also have to check what your health status is, because that's always an important contributor to making the decision as to what's right for you. So I want to share that information with you. I want you to know this is where we're at. Again, we are financial411.net. I want to encourage you to go out to financial411.net. You'll be able to subscribe to our podcast and to our newsletter. Find out details of what's going on each and every week. Learn more about college financial planning. Learn more about your retirement plans. Learn more about income in retirement, how to best distribute it, how to earn money without risk, how to avoid taxes maybe altogether. I was working with a couple recently, and we've actually come to the conclusion that they may have a zero tax bracket in retirement. And that's with a very substantial, sizable income, because things were done properly. And then the planning of how you take things out is done properly. So I'm going to leave you with this. A lot of financial advisors kind of focus on how to accumulate money. Not everybody focuses on how to best distribute the money. So I want you to start taking a look at how to best distribute, get it back, receive the money, take it out properly, manage your kids' financial future. What things can you do along the way? What are tax deductible? What's not tax deductible? What you should be considering in the future. Give those things some thought. Start thinking about how you can grow your financial future. I want you to go out to our website again, and I want you to subscribe. And as you subscribe, you'll get a copy of the book From Diapers to It Depends, which I think is important. So make sure that you go out and get that book. This is, again, what the book looks like. We'll get you a copy of this. It is free. You can also go out to Coffee with Your Advisor. That way you'll know this will be broadcast live on Coffee with Your Advisor, on Financial 411, and on my webpage, so that you can start looking at some of the things that you can do, adjustments you can make that can help you financially. We're doing this, let me point out, at no cost. Not too many people will do that for you. So we're trying to help you, take the initiative, get what it is you're looking for, and make differences in your life. So I want to share that with you. Don't miss out on all that stuff. So get a copy of this book. I want you to do that. This is what it's going to look like. So don't miss out on all that. So hopefully you're ready to go. You're ready to start taking a look at it. We'll be wrapping this up just this morning, but start looking for our live podcast, because we're going to be introducing a lot of information that will assist you over the next 52 weeks. So plan on that. Obviously, we'll be out a few times, but have a cup of coffee with your advisor, okay? This is what it's all about. I'm here to help. No pain, no gain. Let's go learn. Thank you very much. Have a great week, and we'll talk again soon. I'll see you on the flip side next week. Have a good week. Bye-bye.